Hey guys, so here's another weekly makeup look. And today I've actually filmed my movie reaction. We've reacted to a very popular movie from last year. Let's see if you can guess that. The reaction is already on my channel, so I will link that down below. And I kind of went with multiple different products. So for my brows, I'm actually wearing this shade, the Drunken Gold from the Chicago palette. And I got the Be Brow Gel, which I can't find right now. And then I have my Wet n Wild Megalast eyeshadow primer. I started with this Delicious Delights palette with the shade Marshmallow. In the inner part, let me actually zoom you in. Okay, so yeah, in the inner part of the top area, I have the shade Marshmallow, and then I have the Smoothie in the outer as the little like wings, or I don't know, like that kind of little swoop there. Then I used this Photo Focus Color Care Corrector in the shade White from Wet n Wild to cut the crease, and I've used the shade Minty here in the inner half. Then I have my Depotted shade from the Merry Christmas palette by Udens Eye, and it's the shade Matcha Cookie. This one. Then on my lid, I don't have a glitter primer. I just use the shade Southside because it's like pinky purple to green on the like center of the lid, and then on the lower lash line. And I also have Capone. This one is like the little liner here, and Jinriki in the inner corner. And then these pearls and these little crystals are from Shein. I'm gonna link them down below. And then I have my Rimmel Kind and Free concealer in the shade Ten Fair. I've used this duo glue to attach the little gems. I have the Salmon gel liner in the shade 1, this pinky one, hint hint. Essence Lash Princess mascara. Then I use this Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice to outline my lips. And then I have this green lipstick from Unearthly from the Devour collection called Yummy. I'm sure all of you already know which movie I've reacted to. I have a bit of this Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in the shade Light Medium. Then I have, for blush, I have this blush butter from Colourpop. And it's this pink one. I think it was called something Cold or Icy or something, but I can't remember. I will pop it on the screen. And again, like pink, and then a green highlighter. So it's the Wings collaboration with Colourpop. The highlighter sticks in green. And this is how the cheeks look. Yeah. And that's the eyes. I mean, like, isn't that pretty? I think it's pretty. I really enjoy this look. I think it turned out gorgeous. So let me know what you think, and see you tomorrow with another video. See you tomorrow with another look. Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly makeup collection. Weekly Makeup Diaries, where I'm gonna show you 7 different, which is a collection of 7 different looks that I've worn in the span of 7 days. And I will kind of show you everything that I've worn, how I did my makeup, what I'm using for the month, what I've been using in the past week, and all that good stuff. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. In case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows especially. And that's kind of what this video will be mostly about, but you're gonna see some face products as well. And I focus both on new releases and reviewing new products, as well as project planning and using up my collection. So it's gonna be a mix and match of both. Today, I've been focusing on this Nomad Cosmetics Route 66 palette, which I filmed a reel today, and I hope I'm posting it today for me, so it's probably a couple of videos back on my Instagram, but I will link that video or like that reel down below in case you're interested. I've been trying to showcase how many ways you can use this particular palette, so I've kind of used that all over my face, to be honest. But let's just jump right into it. The first shade that I used is the On the Road Again, this one, because I have that in my brows, together with the Got to Be Brow Gel. Then I have my Wet n Wild Megalast eyeshadow primer, and for the eyeshadows, sorry, let me zoom you in so that you can see properly. So for the eyeshadows, I started with the shade Go West, this neutrally kind of peachy one. Then I have Cadillac Ranch in the outer corner, and then this shade, which is called Road of Dreams, in the inner part, and kind of blending out the brow bone. Then for shimmers, so I started with El Rancho, this one, which is in the second half of my lid. Then I also have Marsh Bridge, this one, in the inner half of my lid. I wanted to make it slightly sparklier. No, just like itty bitty sparklier. So I've used this Beauty Moons Cosmetics highlighter. This one is from the collection that I had with Philip, and it's called Eden, and it's this like seafoamy green that flips to kind of like a pinky one. So I just thought that would be perfect perfect together. And by the way, underneath the shimmers, I have my NYX Glitter Primer, as always. That's kind of a staple of mine. Then I've used this Chicago Speakeasy palette because it's my project one to use, so I've been trying to use it. And I've used the shade Jean Ricky because it fits wonderfully as a highlight, as in a corner highlight. It's slightly more iridescent than the highlighter shade in the Route 66, which is called Gateway Arc, which I actually used as a highlighter today. So I'm gonna mention that in a minute, but yeah, this one is slightly more opaque, and I wanted something slightly like more iridescent, so I've used the Chicago palette, and I think I'm gonna mix them together a bit because I feel like they could be really nice together. Then I also used this palette as an eyeliner. So for that, I took the Blue Swallow, and I actually sprayed my brush, just like a basic liner brush, with setting spray. I have this Revolution Matte Fix setting spray, but honestly, you can use anything. This was just the only one that I had around me, so that's for this one. Then I have this ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Crystal Crush in my waterline. I have the Rimmel Content Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair, and my Essence Lash Princess mascara. Then I use this as a blush as well. So as a blush, I've used the shade Gemini Giant, and it's a beautiful kind of peachy blush. And then the Gateway Arc, as I said, as a highlighter, which I think you can see nicely. It's like so fun and beautiful, and really like makes your cheeks look very juicy. And then I also used it on my lips, which I actually have been really liking lately. And these shades have jojoba oil infused in them, which Nomad usually does that. There's like an oil infused there, and it kind of has something to do with the destination. So a couple hours ago, I've used Vaseline, which was still slightly on my lips. You need, like, it can't be too Vaseline-y, but there has to be like a little bit of stickiness. You can also use like regular lip balm, like a clear lip balm. Usually those aren't as jelly and sticky as Vaseline, but I just prefer that on my lips. And I've used the shade Go West. Just like you swatch it on your finger, or like you really bathe your finger in there, and then you just kind of go and rub it. Don't go back into the pan with the same finger. You have to use different finger because otherwise you would get the Vaseline into the eyeshadow and then it could create hard pan. So that's just like a little FYI. And then just very, very lightly, like feather strokes. I've used this Essence Adara Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice. Just slightly to like shape it more, but I think you can see that there's like really not much of liner happening because it was just like slightly to make it all make sense. But otherwise everything you see on the lips is the eyeshadow. It's just like slightly the liner right here, like the absolute outer part. Because obviously my fingers are like chunky, so like it would be hard to trace the shape properly. But yeah, this is the look and I love it. And you can use it for every single part of your makeup. Like I didn't do anything else. Obviously I have the how's it called? Concealer, but that's the only thing that I can't use here. To be fair though, the shade Road of Dreams, if you struggle with creasing right here, and this is similar to your face color, this is very, very pigmented if you build it. So you can use it kind of as like a very pigmented face powder. Hey guys, welcome back to another look. Today I did this kind of like, I feel like I do these types of looks a lot, but it just, whenever I want to wear blue or teal, I just need to add yellow. So that's what you're gonna see today. And now let's just jump right into it. So I started with my Nomad Cosmetics Chicago Speak Easy because I wanted to use it for my brows. And I've mixed the Drunken Gold with this shade, which is called Prohibition. I have that in my brows, as I said. Then I have my Got To Be Brow Gel, the Wet n Wild Megalast Eyeshadow Primer, and I mainly use the Route 66 from Nomad. So let me actually zoom you in. Okay, so this is the look, as you can see, and I started with the shade Main Street America, which is kind of like soft minty green. Then I have the Blue Whale, which is a darker kind of mint teal turquoise, and it's kind of all that's on my lid. And on the lower lash line I used this white photo focus corrector from Wet n Wild. It's kind of like a mixer that you can use, and I've used the End of the Trail on the lower lash line to just have like a little bit of a different color there. And then I used the Blue Swallow and Marsh Bridge, these two, on my lids with the NYX Glitter Primer. I've also used the Chicago palette, and from the Chicago palette I have the shade Chicago Fizz in the center and Aviation on the lower lash line, kind of like in the second half. I also used the Delicious Delights palette, and I've used the shade Delicious, this one, in the inner corner. I can't believe we still don't have a pan. Like, I have such a huge dip in there. And like, I'm not trying to pan it, but it's just like, it's so close that I feel like I should try. And then for the rest of my face, so I have the Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the shade Yellow. Then I have my Essence Lash Princess mascara. I've used two different liners today. I have the Holograph Cosmetics Moon Water Activated liners in the shade Dawn. It's kind of like a green peach gold pink. And I have that right here over the shimmer part, and then over here on the lower part of the lid, of the liner. And I also use this Glisten Cosmetics split liner. This one is in the shade Seaside, and I've used both of the shades. The yellow one is for the little stars and also on top of here, and then the green part is obviously like this line and also here in the inner corner, that like little, how do you call that? I never know, like that inner liner part. And did I use something else? Let me kind of try to show you how it flips. Anyways, yeah, I also used, I'm gonna mention that in a minute. I have the Rimmel Kind and Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair. I tried the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint with 5% niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and peony extract. Peony, I'm not sure. In the shade Light and Light Warm, sorry. So this is how it looks like. It's my first time trying it. I have that all over my face, and I mixed that slightly with this one. Like I just used one. Like when you get the applicator out, I just swatched that on my hand and then added a couple drops of this. This one is very thick. Like it's a really thick foundation, but I don't think it's like too what is the word? Like too pigmented. It's just like thicker, but it actually dries down to this like really soft satin finish. Like it's not fully matte, but it's definitely not like dewy or anything. Just like this blushy, it's actually really comfortable. It's like very blushy satin finish. My face kind of feels like a little teddy bear. It's nice. I do like that. And I don't think it like oxidizes, so it's pretty much the same color. Well, yeah, it is the same color as when I used that on my face. Then I have the Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice. I know I use it all the time, but I just really like it. Then I have my Oden's Eye and Angelica Nico's Halloween Lipstick Collection lipstick, and this one is the matte one in the shade Swamp Fog. And over that, I was able to scrape out a bit of this glowy one called Radioactive. And then for blush and highlighter, for blush, I have this Frankened Gingerbread shade from the Merry Christmas palette by Oden's Eye with my Essence All About Matte setting powder. So I have these two here. And then highlighter, I've been finally able to use like a proper highlighter instead of using eyeshadows. So this Electron Cosmetics Daydreamer highlighting palette, and I've used the shade In Trance on my face. It's like minty, greeny. And I also have that here over the first shade from the Root palette because I just wanted slightly more like sparkle. And it's a really nice topper. And here is the cheeks. I don't know if you can see that, but it's such a beautiful, like iridescent type of highlighter that I really enjoy. So that's everything. Hi guys, welcome to another look. And today, again, probably, I used my Route 66 palette by Nomad. I've been focusing on this one a lot, but I kind of wanna, since I don't really have that many palettes here with me at my grandparents' house, I just decided to like really take the opportunity and just use her, get my opinion on this, so that I can be ready to haul it in a month. So yeah, I just decided to get some uses out of this. But before I'm gonna get into this palette, on my brows, I've used the Chicago Speakeasy, and again, I think I mentioned that yesterday as well. I used the Drunken Goat and the Prohibition, mixed that and used that as a brow shade. And I think it's a good brow shade. Like I feel like it works and it looks believable. Like let me know, maybe I just have brow blindness, but I think it matches. Then I have this Got To Be brow gel. I can't get rid of this one. Like every single time I think that there's no more product, somehow mysteriously more product appears. And I have the Wet n Wild Megalast Eyeshadow Primer. And then this look was actually inspired by my friend. She posted a similar look a couple days ago. I think it was like 2-3 days ago maybe. For me. I don't know when I'm uploading this. and her name is Sia the Makeup Witch. I'm gonna leave her Instagram down below if I'll remember, but I hope I will. And she had like a similar look. It was just like a gray with the yellow and white accents for like the Star Wars day. So I just decided to like copy it, but I didn't want to copy it completely. So I just kind of changed up the color story, but it's a very, otherwise it's a similar look. I asked her if it's okay, then I'm gonna do this look, so, and she agreed. So I started with the Route 66, and I have the shade Royce Diner in the inner part. Let me actually zoom you in. Okay, so the Royce Diner in the inner part. Then I have the, I actually started with Cadillac Ranch in the outer part, and I blended it out with Gemini Giant, kind of towards the edge, just to make it like slightly more seamless, even though nomad shades are pretty easy to like blend out. But I just wanted like even better transition, and I wanted to add that slight bit of peachiness just to work better with what I wanted to do on the eyes. On my eyes, I have, well, first of all, the NYX glitter primer, and then I have the Mondre Moss, I think that's how you call that. It's kind of like corally red in the second half of the lid. It's not a shade that I'm gonna use a lot, but maybe with like more of these like orangey warm looks, I might use that as a base for more iridescent shimmers, because this one is very softly sparkly, I'm gonna say it like that. It's the least shimmery shade of the entire palette. And then I have the Rest Haven, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in the first half of the lid. And what I actually did as well, to use my palette crush of the month, just the Delicious Delight. Maybe the update is already up. I'm gonna film it in 2 days, but for you it might be already up. I used the shade Sprinkles on my lower lash line, and then I decided to also use it in the center of the lid to make it just slightly more sparkly or like shiny, and also have that duochrominess and help with like the transition of these two shades, because the sprinkles are very similar in the tone. I also have whipped cream in the inner corner. I just wanted to have white inner corner. And did I use something else for eyeshadows? Let me actually take a look, because I can't see myself. No, I think that's everything for shimmers. And then for the liners, I used these two liner palettes. So I have the Glisten Split Liner palette, and this one is the shade Warm. I have a couple of these. And I've used this very vibrant neon yellow, kind of almost like a chartreusey yellowy green. Here, I think Sia has like very similar yellow. I think she has more like a warm honey yellow, but she also has yellow in this area and in this shape. And then the Holograph Moon Water Activated Liner Palette in the version Symmetry Sunset. And I've used the white one for all the little stars. And it's just like, usually when I use these palettes that aren't as sparkly in the shimmer department, as I'm usually used to, I use a lot of liners to just kind of make the look still like fun and just interesting, because I love shimmers. I love very, very vibrant shimmers and very like sparkly, but obviously sometimes certain brands just don't do formulas like that, but I still enjoy the color story of their palettes, just like this palette. And so I kind of go around it. Again, I hope not every single look in this video will be using this waterline pencil, but I love yellow, okay? It's one of my favorite accents. Like lately, yellow or white has been exactly what I go for all the time. So I have the Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the shade yellow. I have my Essence Lash Princess mascara. Then the Rimmel Kind and Free concealer On my lips, I have my Essence Adara Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade The Perfect Shade. I haven't used it in a couple days, so I wanted to use it again. And I did more like a reddish lips, because obviously I feel like it kind of matches. I have this Project Pan lipstick. I know I use it all the time, but I just wanna film another update for my 25 things to pan in 2025. And I would like to have like couple products to mention, you know. So this one is the Odin's Eye and Angelica Nico's Halloween lipstick bundle lipstick, and this one is the matte one in the shade Shadow Creature. It's kind of like really nice red, like a very, for me, wearable red. It's more like brownie red. Works with more warmer skin tones, so, or like undertones. So that's that. For blush, I have the shade Smoothie from the Delicious Delights, and I mixed that with the shade Whipped Cream to make it slightly lighter, because obviously this would be crazy as a blush. And for highlight, and I actually also have it in my on my bare bone, is the shade Jinriki from the Chicago palette. I've been really enjoying this particular shade, as well as the shade Southside. Like, I think those are my two favorite, those are my two favorite shades from the entire palette. And obviously like this green one, because I have so many greens in my Project Pans, Pendos eyeshadows, Panda palette. Like, this doesn't actually get that many uses. Also, similar shade is in this palette, which is currently my palette crush of the month. So, you know, so I don't actually go for this green all that often, but it's beautiful shade. It works so wonderfully with this color story. And yeah, I love it. I love it a lot. Am I wearing anything else? No. So let me know what you think about this look. I think it's gorgeous. I just, Sia is so amazing. She has such beautiful looks. Her liner work is way better than mine though. Like, I love these stars. I love the way they look. Like, every single time I see them everywhere, like, it is so gorgeous, but I can't draw them. I'm just the worst at like orienting the brush on my face. So yeah, but let me know what you think about this look. Hopefully you like it, and I'll see you with another look. Hey guys, here's another daily makeup look, and today I actually used all my Pendos eyeshadows for this look. So let me just kind of walk you through that. I just wanted to get some uses on these and, you know, help myself to hit a pan or use them up soon. I wasn't able to like get any goal today, get any of these goals today, but I wasn't really expecting that to. And I forgot to film this for Instagram, and I think I would like to film this. So I might recreate this look to get another use in all of these products, and also to show you how I did this and, you know, inspire you maybe. So first step, let's get into brows. I've used my repressed Merry Christmas palette that I have in this Earth palette, and I've used the shade Matcha Cookie. I had just had a complete like blank. So Matcha Cookie, and I mixed that with my Chromebook Volume 2 by DD Signature, which is my palette crush of the month, and I mixed it with the shade Equerry, because when you mix these two you get a brown, and I think that brown like works really well for my brows. I do believe that it's like very believable. And I have my Got To Be brow gel. Then I used my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer that I'm getting really low on, like it's actually getting to the bottom. So let me zoom you in for this eyeshadow look. I think it's so pretty. It's like a green and purple, and it's everything I like, but it still looks kind of like cute and springy. So obviously the only matte shade that I have in my Pendos eyeshadows right now, because that's just what happened, is the Matcha Cookie. So I have that all over the lid, like everywhere in the crease. And then to have it like softer, I didn't want like too dark of a look, I used this shade, which is called Best Wish, and like the pan is getting bigger and bigger every single day. I think I should be able to use this one up by the end of the month. It's not my Pendos eyeshadows. It's not in my Pendos eyeshadows, but they're so little, and I would like to have another shade finished from this palette. So yeah, that one just kind of everywhere in the crease to blend it out. Then, as a liner, I used the shade from the Muse palette by Cosmic Brushes, because the one that is in my Pendos eyeshadows is the shade Amethyst. So I have that in the, like, as a liner and slightly on the lid. This one I just went straight with the liner brush and used this, or like an angled liner brush, and used this because this is quite like, not a jelly shape, but it definitely has a like body to it, so you can draw with it quite easily. And I know from the Delicious Delights palette that these types of shades do hit pan really easily, and like I can see such a huge dip already, even though I've only used it like 4 times, 5 times maybe. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to hit a pan on this one. So that's Amethyst. Then I have my repressed like Franken shade, which is this one. It's the shade Neverland from Colourpop Tinkerbell palette, frankened with the shade Silvery Dream, I think. Let me check. No, in the shade with the shade Snowflake from the Christmas Eve palette by Odin's Eye, and I have to use this shade up, so it's definitely not gonna happen anytime soon. But I did use that on majority of the lid, and I got some good use on that. Like I like really layered that to get as much use of that as I can. Then in this first like third of the lid and then the whole inner corner, I have another shade from the Christmas Eve palette, which is repressed here, and it's the shade Snowlight. And as you can see, like there's a huge pan happening, and it's just like a very small layer of product. So I really hope that we'll be able to get rid of it this month. It's a really pretty shade, but it's very flaky at this point. It's kind of like the formula is not as good as it was, for sure. And then I have this mini charms palette by Beauty Bay, and the shade that was picked for me is called Eclipse. It's this kind of gray purple over here. I have that all throughout the lower lash line. It's a really pretty shade, like with it will work nicely with kind of most shades. Like I can use this with purple, pink, blue, green, yellow. I think it would also look really pretty, like for that like smoky yellow look. Can definitely, like, it has that like a gray and then the purple, and the purple is more like a berry. So I can see myself using this with a lot of different shades, and if I'll remember to use it, I definitely can hit a pan fairly quickly, especially if I'm gonna use like a smaller brush with that. And then for the rest of the look, oh, by the way, for the glitters or like the shimmers, I've used the NYX glitter primer. And then I have my NYX Epic Royal Liner stick, and this one is in the Chartreuse Flash. I love this one. I don't have it for long, but I've already used it like 15 times or so. It's a beautiful shimmery like waterline pencil. Then I have this Essence Lash Princess mascara, and I love the lashes. Like they look so pretty today. I was quite surprised, but like they look so nice. I don't know like how well you can see that on the camera, but it's so long and so cute and so, you know. And then I have the Rimmel Content Free Concealer in the shade 10 Fair. It's still going. Like it's definitely like at the bottom, but it is still going. I don't know what I did to deserve that. I wish I knew so that I would like stop with that, but yeah, there's still some product left. It's leaking now currently because I took the stopper out, because like with the stopper I wasn't able to get any more product, so I took the stopper out and it is leaking a bit, so I have to be careful with this one, but we're trying to use it up completely. And then I have a blush, which is a Frankened of my gingerbread shade from the Merry Christmas palette. I have Frankened it with this Essence All About Matte setting powder. So that's what I have as a blush. I also use slightly this Franken, which is the shade Softly from the Christmas Eve palette by Odin's Eye, also with that setting powder. And I've created this, like it can either be bronzer or a brow powder. think I'm gonna be able to use it for both, but I think for brows I will just use the shade Softly on its own until I like use up this particular pan. So that's just to let you know what I have on my face. Oh, and highlighter, I nearly forgotten. So again, the Chrome Book, and from that I use the shade Superior. I also have that slightly on the brow bone. It is just such a beautiful, like, neon vibrant green going into gold, going into peach and pink. It's so pretty. So I feel like it would really like work with this look. I don't know how, like, it's not as sparkly on the face because obviously I have like matte blush and I have a lot of setting powder in that blush. So like it's very matte and obviously doesn't really stick to the face. If I would use like blush balm or like any cream blush, it would definitely shine more and like attach to it more, but I don't mind this. Like, it still looks really nice in my opinion. And that is everything for this look. So let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you want me to film the Instagram reel. I can probably film that in a couple of days, so let me know. And that's it for today. Hi guys, so here's a quick and easy look for today because I had like 15 minutes to get ready. So I kind of like cut that short a little bit. For brows, it's the same as yesterday, I believe. I've used the matcha cookie shade from the Merry Christmas palette by Woodlands Eye, and I mixed that with this Delicious Delights palette with the shade Charms. This one. To create a brow shade, I have my Got2b brow gel, my Wet n Wild Megalast eyeshadow primer. Then I have the Shall We Makeup Liana palette, which is my Project Pan palette for this month. And I've used all of the shades from this palette. So I have the Trap Queen kind of all over the lid. I have this shade, which is actually called New Leaf from the Merry Christmas palette because I repressed it in here. And I started like drawing the eyeliner with that because it's slightly darker than the previous shade, but it's still like easy to kind of maneuver around and also erase if I would need to. And then I went in with the shade Full Bloom to go over it and make it sparkly and like deeper liner. And then I have the shade Silvery Snake in the inner corner. Just literally wrap the inner corner, and also make sure to zoom in, and also slightly like the liner to just kind of copy that. And I think it's really pretty look. I've never done a look like this. I don't do really simple looks like that a lot, but it's been fun. Then I have this Woodlands Eye Salmon gel liner in the shade 11. It's a white one. I don't have much of it anymore, so I'm going through these. There are a couple shades I no longer have from this collection because I've used them up, so that's that. And I have the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara, Rimmel Kind & Free concealer in the shade 10 Fair. I have my Revolution Fast Base blush in the shade 10 in the shade Peach. I have this Colourpop and Wings collection highlighter stick in the shade Darcy. It's kind of like a light green one. And then for lips, I have this Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade The Perfect Shade. And then I have these two Woodlands Eye lipsticks from the Halloween collection that are my Project Pan products. So I have the matte one in the shade Swamp Fog and the glow one in the shade Radioactive. And I think that's everything, right? Yeah, like it was really simple and easy today. Yeah, I just think like it's an interesting way to wear green eyeshadows. If you're like scared of it, like this is very appropriate. I think like I don't think anyone's gonna look at you too weird, especially if you have like green or brown eyes. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So yeah, this could be like a very natural kind of everyday green look. if you want to. And that's everything for today, so see you tomorrow. Hey guys, so here's another weekly makeup look. I've actually worn this look slightly differently today because I added the eyeliner after I came from work because I was just too tired in the morning to like actually mess with eyeliner. But let me kind of tell you what I used. So I started with my repressed matcha cookie shade from the Merry Christmas Pie by Odin's Eye in my brows, together with the Chromebook Volume 2 by DD Signature, which I mixed that with the shade Aquary. I'm getting some like really huge dip in this one. I'm gonna have to like figure out what to do next because I don't actually want to like hit a pan in this. And then I used my Get to Be Bare Gel. I hope I'm gonna be able to like use it up soon, but I'm still not sure if there's product left or not because I always feel like there isn't, and then I try it next day and there is a little bit. So let me zoom you in for the eye look. So I have this Wet n Wild Megalast eyeshadow primer, and then I used my Smitten palette by the Everyone. I wanted to film my monthly haul today from April, but I'm kind of tired and I think I'm gonna film that tomorrow, which is annoying because I wanted to film since this palette will be in that video. I wanted to also like wear it, but I'm just too tired. So let me actually kind of change this up a bit. I don't know. So I have the shade Dough Beans in the first half of the lid, like the crease, sorry, then Red Meow in the second half, a little bit of Perhaps in the outer part, and then on the lid I have the NYX Glitter Primer, and then the shade Biscuits in the second half of the lid, Love Bite in the first half of the lid, and Floofy in the inner corner and slightly towards the lower lash line. And then I have my Essence Lash Princess mascara. I think this is my last day of using it. I'm not sure, like there's still a little bit of product, but also I don't know, like it doesn't really look the way, and it started to crumble on the eyes a lot, so I think it's my last day because I've already used it like 50 times or something. Then I have the Salmon Gel Liner in the shade 1 from Odin's Eye. I have my Rimmel Kind and Free concealer in the shade 1 Fair. I also have this Glisten and Lin's collection like water activated liners, and I have the shade Swoop for the black eyeliner. I just wanted to do like, I felt like this look needed that because, well, I kind of have like a really cutesy outfit. I think it's cutesy. I'm gonna pop up a picture of that because I actually took a picture, so you can let me know. But I don't know, I felt like the eyes, I just wanted to do something black there. So yeah, once I came back from work, I just used that. And then on my lips, I have this pencil, which is the Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Cinnamon Spice. And then I have this Odin's Eye and Angelica Halloween lipstick, or like from the Halloween bundle. And this one is the matte one in the shade Swamp Feature. No, sorry, Shadow Creature. And blush and highlighter. So for blush, I have my Spring Magic palette by Unearthly. And I mixed the shade Flourish and Blossom, so these two shades are on my cheek. And then as a highlighter for work, I used the shade Warmth, but I kind of felt like it kind of disappeared throughout the day. I mean, I've been at work for like, I don't know, 9 hours or something. So before filming this, or actually like 2 hours ago, I used the Beauty Moon Cosmetics Ice Maiden palette, and I mixed the shade Snowden and Empower, and that's what I currently have on my cheeks. So yeah, but I mean, look at the eyeshadows. Like, this is such a gorgeous sparkly formula. I just love the Everett, and I think you can see how beautifully shifty this is. I just love this. This is just such a gorgeous formula. Now I'm slightly like wondering, because obviously I've been trying the Smitten, and also in my Project 20 uses, I have the Bitten palette by Gourmand Girls. I don't know if I need both of them, if I'm being honest, because I don't wear these shades as often as I would want to. And if I would have to really pick, I feel like this palette is just better. Like the shimmer, and also it's magnetic and it's interchangeable, and the shimmers are way nicer. The mattes I think are just as good, and I kind of... Do I like this selection more? I feel like I do like this selection more than the Bit and Pad. They are very similar. Let me know if I should like swatch compare them. I can do like a just like a short reel, or you know, Instagram post. Just write down below if you want me to do that, because I feel like they are quite similar, and I feel like I can get more from this. And I know I'm not gonna really be able to use them both as much as I would want to if I'll keep both. So I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't just try to find a better home for the Bitten palette. Like, that thought kind of hurts me because I just really adore that palette, but also realistically, I don't really see myself using it all that much. I feel like even the Project 20 uses will be excruciating because it's already been in there for, well, from the beginning, and it's like, what, 3 months? We're like 3 months in, and I've used it like maybe 3 times. I don't know, like I've used it very minimally, so I'm kind of wondering if I should or shouldn't. Let me know your opinion. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been wondering about in the recent, like, I don't know, like in the past 2 days, I think. But yeah, that's kind of everything, and I think this was the last look of this video, so let me know what you thought, and I hope you had a wonderful week, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video.